Hello, my name is Stacy, and I did my research survey project on job satisfaction and working from home. The reason I selected this question, and the question is whether or not working from home increases job satisfaction. The reason I did this was because recently, within the past couple of years, my company, I work for an insurance company, they started giving the option for certain departments to work from home. And about 2/3 of my department currently work from home. My coworkers have expressed their enjoyment of working from home, so I thought that would be nice to see whether or not the statistics show whether or not it's really true that job satisfaction increases because you can work from home. So my hypothesis, the null hypothesis, would show there's no difference in job satisfaction whether working from home or in the home office. The alternative hypothesis is working from home does increase job satisfaction. So the participants and survey method I only used women. I used the coworkers from my department. I have 17 people in my department, and 12 of them participated. The other ones, this was during vacation week. It was Christmas, the holidays. So there were quite a few people gone. So 12 of the people decided to participate. Their ages range from 25 to 65. And I took all that into consideration. I didn't have a particular age range I was using. So the age range that was out of the 12 was 25 to 65. And what I did was I did a Google form survey and I emailed it to the participants. So the survey questions I used, there were the top 4 I actually got from the Brief Index of Effective Job Satisfaction questions. And this is something that the professor did provide me with. So the first one was, I find real enjoyment in my job. The second one is, most days I am enthusiastic about my job. The third one, I feel fairly well satisfied with my job. And the fourth one, I like my job better than the average person. So the additional survey questions that I came up with myself were, I would rather choose working from home rather than the home office. Does the option of working from home keep you from applying for other jobs that may not offer the option of working from home? The third one, if you work from home, do you feel that your stress level has decreased since working from home? The fourth one, if you work from home, do you feel that working from home makes the job more satisfying? And then the fifth question I asked was what their age was. So I'm going to give just the findings for each of the questions that I came up with. And as you can see here, do you currently work from home? Out of the 17 people that I chose, out of the 12 people that participated, 33% do not work from home and 66% do work from home. The question, I would choose working from home rather than the home office. And as you can see, I used the scale strongly agree to strongly disagree. That's what most of these questions all entailed. And as you can see, 66% strongly agree that they would choose working from home rather than not. There were another large portion was 16% said they were neutral in between. So I guess they would go either way. And then there was a strong 8% strongly disagreed. And then it doesn't show, it looks like it's about the same for disagree. The next question, does the option of working from home keep you from applying for other jobs that may not offer the option of working from home? Now, keep in mind, the insurance company I work for, not every department offers working from home. So this I thought was a very important question because we have job postings all the time. And it may be that if we weren't able to work from home, everyone worked in the home office, let's say, and if there's a job posting that went up and you only can work in the home office, you have to work in the home office for it. Well, someone, there may be people who aren't necessarily applying for jobs now because they can't work from home anymore, or they have to go into the home office now and train, which might take a couple months. And so there may be people who may not want to do that anymore. So what I did find is that 33% strongly agree that the option of working from home is important if they want to apply for a job. And as you can see, all of the other answers are at 16.7%. The next question, if you work from home, do you feel that working from home makes the job more satisfying? And I did put in there, if you do not work from home, please select does not apply. So as you can see, 33%, this is not going to apply for them. This is for the 4 people that work at the home office. So as you can see, 58% strongly agree that working from home makes the job more satisfying. And then there's a small 8% that's neutral. The next question, if you work from home, do you feel that your stress level has decreased since working from home? Now, I thought this was very important because when we started working from home, a lot of people had mentioned that their stress level went down. So I wanted to see whether or not that was true, if it came through. And 54% strongly agree. And then now there are only 11 responses, so someone must not have answered this question. But 36% does not apply. So again, the other percent is the neutral. So as you can see, strongly agrees, stress level does decrease. So what I did for my scattergram was I took the one question, does the option of working from home keep you from applying for other jobs that may not offer the option of working from home? What I did for this one, I am honestly going to say I had a difficult time trying to figure out the scattergram because of how my survey was set up. So what I did for this particular one was I took the age of people and their score to see if there was any correlation. And as you can see, there's no correlation. So for instance, someone who is 26 years old scored 2, and someone who's 60 scored 1, where someone who was 55 scored 5. So really, it just kind of jumps all around. All right, so the next thing I did was I had to figure out how to test my hypothesis. So what I did was, because I only had 12 participants, it was a small sample. So what I did was I had to find the t-test, and I did that by using the one-tailed test, and I used the upper tail because what I was testing was whether or not there's an increase in job satisfaction. So I had 2 different variables. I had the independent variable, which were the people who work from home, and then I had the second variable, which was the dependent variable, and those are the people who work in the office. So I found the mean for each group. In the mean, now keep in mind that the score 5 is highest. This is that they strongly agree. And I found that the mean for the working from home participants, their mean was 4.34. And then the mean for the people who work in the office is 3.69. So here's what my final finding was after I processed the t-test. It is the smaller the p-value, the stronger the evidence is to reject the null hypothesis. So the p-value would need to be less than 0.05, which is significance level. And in my case, the p-value was only 0.17. So 0.17 is greater than 0.05. So in my case, I failed to reject the null hypothesis, but instead have to accept it. So what I have found is that the strengths I use to evaluate and critique my survey, there's a few things that I think could have been done a little bit differently. The strengths I had were I used all the same gender women. Weaknesses is I think I didn't have the same number of participants for each group, so I think that could have hindered the results. I could have broadened the participants to other departments outside my own, which I think would have been a very good idea because, like I said, there are other departments, especially within my division, I work in claims, that they could have participated too, and I think that would have been of value to find out their results. Now, bias. Here, I knew many of the, like I mentioned earlier, I knew many of the people in my department enjoyed working from home. And I should have broadened the survey to other departments again, like I said. So, excuse me. I think that I wanted, and like I had mentioned, I wanted to do this because so many people had mentioned that they enjoyed working from home. So right there, that could be a bias because there I'm thinking my results are going to be that yes, working from home increases job satisfaction. And then the external validity, one thing that could have affected this is the Hawthorne effect, where I was sure to include in the email and the survey I sent to the participants that the results are anonymous, they're confidential. I can't see who sent back the results, or there's no names. But because it's such a small group and we all work close together, it makes you wonder whether or not they still felt totally comfortable being completely honest. So that's one thing to take into consideration. So the conclusion I have, what more is needed? And again, this is kind of going over the same thing. I think broadening the selection of participants would be helpful, and increasing the amount of participants. So broadening, getting more people outside the department, increasing the amount, maybe getting 20 people instead of just 12, keeping the same gender, going with all either female or male. And honestly, we have more female, at least in my department, than other departments, and having the equal amount of participants in each variable group. So instead of only having 4 people that work in the home office and 8 people that work from home, making sure that those are equal amounts. So thank you very much for listening and going over my survey with me. Thank you.